Llandudno, welcome to this gorgeous town and welcome to the Welsh Open.
On the bays, the Welsh were flying the flag. 10 home players had qualified for the televised stages. The youngest, 16-year-old Liam Davis, showed why he's being tipped for great things, coming back from 3-2 down to defeat Nopon Sainkiam 4-3.
To even get a chance to play here is just unbelievable. Nice to get a win like that in front of my home crowd, especially after what happened last year where I was 3-0 up and lost 4-3.
The shock of the round came from fellow countryman Jackson Page, who walloped Stuart Bingham 4-1.
It's always nice to do well in the Welsh, you know. It just has a different type of feeling being at home event and being like you know almost everyone here. And it's great.
Ryan Day joined Bingham as the only other top 16 seed to fall in round one, losing out to Stuart Carrington in a decider.
It's a shame it's not been more than a day trip, but yeah, it is what it is.
Elsewhere, reigning champion Joe Perry made a triumphant return. He whitewashed Mark King.
Scoreline did flag me a bit. I made a few mistakes. On another day, I would have got punished for them mistakes and the scoreline would have been very different. But all you can do is just play and just see what happens. Sometimes you get punished, sometimes you don't.
And the man who lost out to Perry in last year's final arrived in determined mood.
Every event that I play in, I want to win sometimes in my career, and this is one of the only ones left that I haven't won, and it'd be nice to cross off this week.
A cracking start for Judd Trump, who advanced without conceding a frame.
Oh, that's a tremendous pot from Judd Trump.
As did world champion Ronnie O'Sullivan, who was also in bullish mood during his post-match studio appearance.
He did what champions do, and he took that chance, won the first frame, get the pressure on.
Can you tell me about it?
Oh, goodness knows. anything to disguise the grey.
I can't stop looking at his hair.
Things were a little more up and down for the Rocket in round two.
Oh, his tip's come off.
Okay.
Tip came off again. Unbelievable what's happening.
Despite issues with his Q-tip and unbelievably conceding the 6th frame to the 3 miss rule,
Balanimus, Rosmere 4. Balanimus, Rosmere 4. Balanimus, Rosmere 6. And the frame.
Ronnie still had too much in his locker for Ross Muir, running out a 4-3 winner in a scrappy affair. As for Dominic Dale, well, he bounced back from the Rockets' banter to put in a hair-raising performance against Neil Robertson, thrashing the 2-time winner 4-0.
Dominic Dale has been absolutely superb. And Neil will give him a warm congratulations.
You only have to be 2 or 3% off your game, and you can lose a lot of matches, and your confidence can suffer because of it. And I knew if I had a good start today, I could win, yeah.
Amateur player Daniel Wells joined the Welsh contingent through to round 3, where he faced Judd Trump after the ace in the pack disposed of Louis Heathcote.
Oh, that's a great shot. That's a very creative shot.
The Welsh theme continued as Jack Jones won an edgy 4-3 encounter against compatriot Mark Williams.
Oh, beautifully cued. Superb shot from Jack Jones.
The player ranked 46 places above him.
Obviously you have to play well to beat Mark, especially if he's playing well. So I'm quite happy with the way I'm playing at the moment.
Fellow Welsh hopefuls Matthew Stevens and Liam Davis joined Mark Williams on the early bus home after going out to Rod Lawler and Robbie Williams respectively. Kyron Wilson was another surprise big name to fall in round 2, losing 4-2 to China's Pang Zhongzhu. While Jimmy White wasn't able to roll back the years against Tian Pengfei, losing out by the same scoreline. But another legend and record 5-time winner of this event was quietly going about his business.
Oh, what a shot that was.
John Higgins cruised to his 2nd consecutive 4-0 scoreline. Martin Gould put to the sword just as Alexander Ersenbacher was in round 1.
2 tough games, played pretty well. So, yeah, very happy.
The merry-go-round of matches was still in full swing heading into round 3,
32 players were left to battle it out, and as always, there were plenty of thrills and spills along the way. David Gilbert's 142 clearance put him in contention to collect the tournament prize for the highest break. But that's as good as it got for the Englishman, as 18-year-old Belgian Ben Mertens ran out a 4-3 winner to record his best run in a ranking event and set up a fourth-round clash with Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Ronnie is my hero, so it's very special to play Ronnie, so I'm very excited for that.
Oh, the tip's come off again.
The Rocket was still having issues with his tip, but crucially he was still winning, cruising past Rod Lawler 4-0.
You're gonna go change it?
There was no such luck for four-time world champion Mark Selby. He went down 4-2 to fellow Englishman Robert Milkins, who wrapped up victory with a classy 1-3-7 break.
This is a nice way to finish. Robert Wilkins through to the next round. Well played.
Joe Perry had been on course to become the first back-to-back champion since John Higgins in 2011, but it was Robbie Williams who entertained the crowd, securing an emphatic 4-1 victory.
I'm not the greatest potter of the ball, so I like to have close control, and I just never got control of the cue ball tonight. I just couldn't get used to the table.
It was also the end of the line for Dominic Dale. Yan Zishun eased to a 4-1 win. But there was joy elsewhere for the home nation. Jack Jones looked assured against Julien Leclerc and secured safe passage to round 4. While Daniel Wells served up round 3's biggest upset, trumping the ace in the pack. The Welsh Open continues to elude Judd Trump. Then there were none. It was goodbye to Wales in round 4. Pang Zhongzhu proved too strong for Jones, and as for Wells, well, he ran into the magician.
For a small fee, Zoltar will give you a wealth of wisdom.
Shaun Murphy had been steady through the early rounds. However, a cheeky seagull had ruffled his feathers off the table. When the goods were returned anonymously on match day...
Chocolate orange given to him by somebody in the crowd. That's nice.
Something clicked. A brilliant 1-4-5 clearance in frame 2 put Murphy in command.
They call him the Magician Murphy, and that's why.
That was followed up by a maximum 1-4-7, the 7th of his career.
Beautiful shot.
Fantastic! A 1-4-5 followed by a 1-4-7. It doesn't get any better than that.
Absolute magic from the magician, who went on to romp home 4 frames to 1.
I was pleased with the 1-4-5 in the second frame. I was buzzing with that. So the 1-4-7, I've got no idea where that's come from. I suppose you wait for them for a few seasons, and like a London bus, they come one after the other.
Thank you. First frame, Ben Mertens to break.
Experience outgunned youth as 47-year-old O'Sullivan made light work of 18-year-old Mertens. Robert Milkins saw off Barry Hawkins' conqueror, Hossem Vafai 4-1. Jack Lisowski and John Higgins were the biggest names to drop in round 4. The jackpot failed to hit the big time against Yan Zishun, and Zishun's countryman Tian Pengfei was a surprise 4-1 winner over John Higgins.
I should never lose really when I'm in control, 14-15 front, the red safe is pretty poor.
3 representatives from China safely through to the last 8, but who would hit the target in the quarter-finals? Most people expected a straightforward quarter-final win for Ronnie O'Sullivan, but Tian Pengfei had other ideas, restricting the Rocket to just 4 pots in the opening 2 frames.
There'll be no way back to the table for Ronnie.
When Ronnie missed 2 bites at the blue in a scrappy third, the writing was on the wall.
Oh, and he's missed it.
Breaks of 82 and 73 secured an incredible 5-0 scoreline and a first-ranking semi-final appearance for the 35-year-old.
Every match gave me a lot confident from, especially John Higgins and play Ronnie today, big crowd. It's very special.
Tian played really well all week, so yeah, can't have any arguments there.
Sean Murphy took just over 2 hours to race past Yuan Xishun 5-0. No maximum breaks on this occasion, but an impressive performance nonetheless. With 3 ranking titles to his name this season, Mark Allen had begun this tournament as one of the favourites. The Northern Irishman had dropped just 5 frames en route to his quarter-final clash with Robert Milkins, but he couldn't get going against the Milkman, who delivered a 5-1 thrashing.
It was a very poor performance, and yeah, there's no beating about the bush. It was just awful from start to finish, and the right player won.
Every single game sort of been the same, just grinding it out, and hopefully we can carry on that way.
It was left to Joe O'Connor and Pang Zhongzhu to provide the quarter-final excitement. O'Connor battled back from 4-2 down to force a 9th frame decider, only to see Pang end his resistance with a brilliant 1-2-4 clearance.
And so our semi-final lineup was complete, and it featured a double helping of China versus England.
First up was a fourth career meeting between Tian Pengfei and Robert Milkins, the latter leading the head-to-head 2-1. Tian wasn't able to reproduce the form that had seen him breeze past Ali Carter, John Higgins and Ronnie O'Sullivan in the previous rounds. With breaks of 109, 89 and 82, the Milkman took control and booked his second career ranking final appearance, running out a 6-2 winner.
I'm ecstatic to tell the truth. I played some good players this week. It was a tougher run for me in this one than it was in Gibraltar when I got to my first final.
In a first meeting between Pang Zhongzhu and Sean Murphy, the magician delved into his box of tricks.
Bit aside. Bit aside. I told you he's a magician!
The opening 4 frames were shared before Murphy stamped his authority on the game. A 6-3 win, and Murphy now has a crack at his first silverware since winning the Welsh Open back in 2020.
It's been such a barren few seasons. It was a big game for me to get to the final. It's been a long time, but yeah, overriding feeling is relief.
Wow, what a week. We've had shocks and upsets, joy and jubilation. We've had broken tips and even a 1-4-7. Now all that is left is to crown our champion.
Yes, and even a few mountain goats in the middle of Llandudno last night, believe it or not. Ken Doherty spotted them. More on that later, maybe. But Robert Milkins leading 7-5 in the final, and Abigail, I believe, has got a couple of his biggest fans with her.
Well, it's great to be joined by 2 of the Milkman's children right now. Alicia, we're going to start with you. How exciting is it watching your dad in the final?
It is exciting, but it's also like really nervous because if he misses, then he could lose the frame.
Yeah, definitely. And Charlie, you play snooker as well, don't you? Is it more nerve-wracking watching your dad than playing yourself?
I'd say, yeah, it's more nerve-wracking and watching him.
But would you say you're a better snooker player than your dad?
Yeah.
Would you have already beaten Sean by now?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you said you get nervous watching him, but do you think he's doing really, really well this week, Alicia?
Yeah.
And what have you made of his performances so far?
Well, I mean, he's doing really good, and it doesn't matter if he wins as long as he tries his best.
And you're going to be really, really proud of him, whatever happens in this?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And just finally, I want your score predictions for this one. So do you think he's going to get over the line? Do you think he's going to win it?
I mean, hopefully, yeah, I guess.
Do you think he's going to win it?
I think so, yeah.
Very, very confident in the Milkins.